Assalamu alaikum.
Hi everyone. It's Wednesday, the 28th of May 2025. Today's lecture will start with the Takbeeraat of Eid, as we are standing in the first 10 nights of the holy month Zulhijjah. And today is 1st of Zulhijjah. Our today's lecture is divided into three main sections. The story of Prophet Ibrahim from Surah Al-An'am, Quran Tajweed, and Quran reading and listening session. Let's start reciting the Takbeeraat.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, walillahil hamd, الله أكبر كبيرا والحمد لله كثيرا وسبحان الله بكرة وأصيلا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. وإذ قال إبراهيم لأبيه آزر أتتخذ أصناما آلهة إني أراك وقومك في ضلال مبين.
Remember when Abraham said unto his father Azar, Takest thou idols for gods? Lo, I see thee and thy folk in error manifest.
وكذلك نري إبراهيم ملكوت السماوات والأرض وليكون من الموقنين.
Thus did we show Abraham the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, that he might be of those possessing certainty.
Okay, let's jump right into a new deep dive.
Sounds good.
Today we're unpacking a really interesting section of the Quran, verses 74 through 86 of Surah Al-An'am.
That's right. It focuses heavily on the story of Prophet Ibrahim, or Abraham.
And the material we're drawing from, it's based on excerpts from a class, so that gives us a particular, perspective.
Yeah, a specific lens. And our mission really is to pull out the essential points from these verses.
Understand that core message about faith, about God, through Ibrahim's story and his arguments.
Exactly. We'll be looking closely at his journey of discovery and how he challenges the beliefs that were common then.
It gets going pretty quickly, too. The source jumps right into it with verses 74 and 75, this confrontation.
It really does. No messing around. He goes straight to his father, Azar.
And the question is so direct.
Do you take idols as gods? Just like that. And the source emphasizes this isn't a light suggestion. Ibrahim's conviction is clear.
He says something like, "It's clear to me you and your people are completely wrong."
The phrase used is entirely misguided. That really sets the tone, doesn't it? Shows the depth of the problem he sees.
Definitely. But before that, there's this background detail the source gives us, which feels important.
You mean how God showed Abraham the wonders of the heavens and the earth?
Yes, exactly. And the purpose given is specific.
Right. So he would be sure in faith. It wasn't just him idly stargazing. This was like a divinely guided observation.
To give him that certainty before he starts questioning others.
Precisely. It forms the basis for his search, his logical process as he looks at the cosmos.
Which brings us neatly into verses 76, 77, and 78.
When the night grew dark upon him, he beheld a star. He said, "This is my Lord." But when it set, he said, "I love not things that set."
فلما رأى القمر بازغا قال هذا ربي فلما أفل قال لئن لم يهدني ربي لأكونن من القوم الضالين.
And when he saw the moon uprising, he exclaimed, "This is my Lord." But when it set, he said, "Unless my Lord guide me, I surely shall become one of the folk who are astray.
فلما رأى الشمس بازغة قال هذا ربي هذا أكبر فلما أفلت قال يا قوم إني بريء مما تشركون.
And when he saw the sun uprising, he cried, "This is my Lord, this is greater." And when it set, he exclaimed, "O my people, lo, I am free from all that ye associate with him."
We see him really engage with this observation.
Yeah, it's a step-by-step process. The source describes it clearly. Night falls, it gets dark.
And he sees a star.
And his first thought is, this is my Lord. Maybe this bright thing is it.
But then the crucial part.
Right. The star sets, it disappears, and he immediately rejects it. I do not love things that set. That line is so key.
He's looking for something permanent, unchanging.
Exactly. So temporary things that fade away, they can't be the ultimate reality he's seeking.
And he does the same thing with the moon.
Yep. Sees the moon rising. It's bigger, brighter. Again, this one is my Lord.
But same outcome.
Same outcome. The moon sets, and the source mentions him reflecting here, thinking, if my Lord doesn't guide me, I'll definitely be one of the misguided.
So he realizes that guidance has to come from something beyond these transient things.
He does. He knows depending on something that vanishes isn't real guidance. It has to be constant.
Which naturally leads him to the biggest, brightest thing, the sun.
Makes sense. He sees the sun shining, and the source has him saying, this must be my Lord. It is the greatest. It's the most powerful thing he's observed so far.
But the pattern holds.
The pattern holds. The sun sets too. And this is the final step, the breakthrough.
This is where he makes his stand.
Yes.
إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين.
Lo, I have turned my face toward him who created the heavens and the earth, as one by nature upright, and I am not of the idolaters.
وحاجه قومه قال أتحاجوني في الله وقد هدان ولا أخاف ما تشركون به إلا أن يشاء ربي شيئا وسع ربي كل شيء علما أفلا تتذكرون.
His people argued with him. He said, "Dispute ye with me concerning Allah when he hath guided me? I fear not at all that which ye set beside him, unless my Lord willeth. My Lord includeth all things in his knowledge. Will ye not then remember?"
He declares, oh, my people, I totally reject whatever you associate with Allah and worship. His observation leads him straight to rejecting shirk, that idea of associating partners with the one creator.
Wow. From watching the sky to a fundamental theological principle. That's quite a journey.
It is. And of course, making a stand like that, as verses 79 and 80 show, brings conflict.
You can imagine. How does he state his new position?
Very clearly. The source quotes him, "I have turned my face towards the one who has originated the heavens and the earth being upright. And I am not one of the polytheists."
Upright, focused only on the originator, rejecting polytheism completely.
Precisely. And his people, well, they argue with him about a lot.
What's his response to their argument?
He kind of turns it back on them using his own experience. He asks basically, "Why are you arguing with me? God has guided me."
And he points out the irony of their fears, right?
Yeah, he challenges them. "You fear my God, but I don't fear your associate gods. Why?"
Because they're powerless.
Exactly. He says they can't harm him unless my Lord so wills. Again, any perceived power they might have is only by permission from the real power.
He really pushes them to think.
He does. He mentions God's knowledge covers everything and then asks that pointed question.
وكيف أخاف ما أشركتم ولا تخافون أنكم أشركتم بالله ما لم ينزل به عليكم سلطانا فأي الفريقين أحق بالأمن إن كنتم تعلمون.
How should I fear that which ye set up beside him, when ye fear not to set up beside Allah that for which he hath revealed unto you no warrant? Which of the two factions hath more right to safety? Answer me that, if ye have knowledge.
الذين آمنوا ولم يلبسوا إيمانهم بظلم أولئك لهم الأمن وهم مهتدون.
Those who believe and obscure not their belief by wrongdoing, theirs is safety, and they are rightly guided.
Will you not be mindful? Like, won't you use your reason here?
This whole theme of fear and power, it flows right into the next verses, 81 and 82, about security.
Yes. This is a really crucial part of the argument presented in the source. Ibrahim keeps pushing on this point of fear.
He asks, why should I fear your powerless idols?
When you are the ones doing something much more fearful, associating partners with God, something he never authorized.
He's flipping the script on who should actually feel insecure.
Totally. He's saying their actions, their shirk, that's the truly precarious position, not his monotheism.
So the source poses that central question.
Which side has more right to security?
And it gives a very clear answer.
Absolutely. It says, it is only those who are faithful and do not tarnish their faith with falsehood who are guaranteed security and are rightly guided.
Only them.
Yeah.
That's quite definitive.
It is. The insight is powerful. Real security isn't about worldly power or numbers. It comes from pure faith. Faith untarnished by falsehood, by associating others with God.
So avoiding shirk is the foundation for both security and guidance, according to this.
That's the connection the text makes, yes.
وتلك حجتنا آتيناها إبراهيم على قومه نرفع درجات من نشاء إن ربك حكيم عليم.
That is our argument. We gave it unto Abraham against his folk. We raise unto degrees of wisdom whom we will. Lo, thy Lord is wise, aware.
ووهبنا له إسحاق ويعقوب كلا هدينا ونوحا هدينا من قبل ومن ذريته داود وسليمان وأيوب ويوسف وموسى وهارون وكذلك نجزي المحسنين.
And we bestowed upon him Isaac and Jacob. Each of them we guided. And Noah did we guide aforetime. And of his seed we guided David and Solomon and Job and Joseph and Moses and Aaron. Thus do we reward the good.
Falsehood leads to insecurity and misguidance. Pure faith leads to security and true guidance.
That's a lot to think about, that definition of security. Okay, so moving into the final section here, verses 83 to 86, the source shifts perspective a bit.
Yeah, it zooms out to the divine view. It highlights that this compelling argument Ibrahim used, it wasn't just his own brilliant idea.
Ah, right. The text says something like, this was the argument we gave Abraham against his people.
Exactly. It frames it as divinely inspired insight. God elevates people. He's all-wise, all-knowing.
And this guidance, this blessing, it continues through his lineage.
It does. The source immediately mentions Isaac and Jacob, saying God guided them, just like Noah before them.
And then it lists quite a few other prophets.
Yeah, connected to Abraham, David, Solomon, Job, Joseph, Moses, Aaron. And it notes this is how God rewards the good doers. Guidance linked to righteousness.
It feels like the source is showing a pattern, that Ibrahim's path wasn't just a one-off.
That's exactly the sense I get. It's demonstrating continuity. And it continues the list.
Who else?
وزكريا ويحيى وعيسى وإلياس كل من الصالحين.
And Zechariah and John and Jesus and Elias, each one of them was of the righteous.
وإسماعيل واليسع ويونس ولوطا وكلا فضلنا على العالمين.
And Ishmael and Elisha and Jonah and Lot, each one of them did we prefer above our creatures.
Zechariah, John, Jesus, and Elias, also guided, all described as righteous.
Reinforcing that connection between guidance and righteousness.
And then finally, it mentions Ishmael, Elisha, Jonah, and Lot.
And how are they described?
As being favored over other people of their time. So when you look at that whole list,
Descendants, righteous ones, favored ones.
it loops right back to Ibrahim's stand. It's like the source is saying, see, the path he took seeking truth logically, standing firm on monotheism based on observation and guidance, that's the path of all these figures we guided and favored. It validates his entire approach within this narrative framework.
So let's try and wrap this up. We followed Ibrahim's journey in these verses, and the source lays it out.
From questioning idols and his father.
Through that really fascinating logical search, using the stars, moon, and sun.
To his firm stand against associating partners with God, facing opposition.
And then seeing that divine stamp of approval, showing his path aligns with this long line of prophets.
It's a really compelling narrative about seeking truth, challenging assumptions, and finding conviction. The source gives us this specific look at a key figure grappling with fundamental questions.
In Quran Tajweed, today we will be learning 3 letters with different pronunciations. Letter Alif, letter Hamza, and letter Ain. Letter Hamza and Alif will have same sound and pronunciation.
ألف ألف عين عين The sound of عين. Probably you're worried now and you think, here is the most difficult Arabic sound. But don't worry. Once you know the difference between the عين sound and the sound, it will be so much easier. The sound of as in alif, is pronounced from the lower part of throat. A. However, the ain sound is smoother. Try to put your finger on the lower part of your throat. A comes from there. Now put your finger a little bit above. That's where ain sound comes from, the middle part of throat. Say ain. Some students find it harder if you add more sounds after ain. Here's the trick. Make the ayn sound first. Ah, ah, ah. Then add the following sound. Ah, ow, I. I know it's challenging, but with enough practice, you can do it. Some important Arabic words have the ayn sound, like al-Arabiyya, which means Arabic. Al-Arabiyya. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum is the Islamic greeting, and it literally means peace be upon you. The response is wa alaykumus salam. Wa alaykumus salam, which means and upon you be peace. We don't say assalamu alaykum wa alaykumus salam. And please notice that we don't stop between the two words. We say Assalamu alaykum wa alaykumus salam. We say them as one word. Assalamu alaykum, peace be upon you. Wa alaykumus salam, and upon you be peace. Assalamu alaykum wa alaykumus salam.
Mim and Noon Mashadda. A letter with shadda consists of two letters. The first with sukoon, and the second with a haraka. The sarking letter merges with the mutaharic letter, pronouncing them like one letter making a shadda. Note, when the letters noon and mim are mashadda, it must be read with gonna.
إنا أوحينا إليك كما أوحينا إلى نوح والنبيين من بعده وأوحينا إلى إبراهيم وإسماعيل وإسحاق ويعقوب والأسباط وعيسى وأيوب ويونس وهارون وسليمان وآتينا داود زبورا ورسلا قد قصصناهم عليك من قبل ورسلا لم نقصصهم عليك وكلم الله موسى تكليما رسلا مبشرين ومنذرين لئلا يكون للناس على الله حجة بعد الرسل وكان الله عزيزا حكيما لكن الله يشهد بما أنزل إليك أنزله بعلمه والملائكة يشهدون وكفى بالله شهيدا إن الذين كفروا وصدوا عن سبيل الله قد ضلوا ضلالا بعيدا إن الذين كفروا وظلموا لم يكن الله ليغفر لهم ولا ليهديهم طريقا إلا طريق جهنم خالدين فيها أبدا وكان ذلك على الله يسيرا يا أيها الناس قد جاءكم الرسول بالحق من ربكم فآمنوا خيرا لكم وإن تكفروا فإن لله ما في السماوات والأرض وكان الله عليما حكيما يا أهل الكتاب لا تغلوا في دينكم ولا تقولوا على الله إلا الحق إنما المسيح عيسى ابن مريم رسول الله وكلمته ألقاها إلى مريم وروح منه فآمنوا بالله ورسله ولا تقولوا ثلاثة انتهوا خيرا لكم إنما الله إله واحد سبحانه أن يكون له ولد له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وكفى بالله وكيلا
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق
اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق
خلق الإنسان من علق
خلق الإنسان من علق
اقرأ وربك الأكرم
اقرأ وربك الأكرم
الذي علم بالقلم
الذي القلم
علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم
علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم
كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى
كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى
أن رآه استغنى
أن رآه استغنى
إن إلى ربك الرجعى
إن إلى ربك الرجعى
أرأيت ينهى
أرأيت الذي ينهى
عبدا إذا صلى
عبدا إذا صلى
أرأيت إن كان على الهدى
أرأيت إن كان على الهدى
أو أمر بالتقوى
أو أمر بالتقوى
أرأيت إن كذب وتولى
أرأيت إن كذب وتولى
ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى
ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى
كلا لئن لم ينته لنسفعا ناصية
كلا لئن لم ينته لنسفعا بالناصية
ناصية كاذبة خاطئة
ناصية كاذبة خاطئة
فليدع ناديه سندع الزبانية
سندع الزبانية
كلا لا تطعه واسجد واقترب
كلا لا تطعه واسجد واقترب
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر
إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر
وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر
وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر
ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر
ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر
تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر
تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر
سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر
سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر.
Thank you so much and see you all in our next lecture.